Hey there, robotics class. It's good to see the 8th graders here again, and let's get going on this assignment. So this is the assignment for our first robot programming assignment. Now you might ask yourself, how am I going to program a robot when Mr. Witchick didn't give me any Legos or anything to build the robot out of? You know, usually before in class, I would give you pieces or parts, like these VEX metal parts. You'd use tools to put them together and build them into a robot, which we could program or remote control. We also have Legos, so sometimes I would give you a bunch of Legos and you'd put them together into a robot that's something like this. Unfortunately, we can't do that with online distance learning, but we can do the programming part. And it's not as fun. You know, in the classroom, in real life, you'd get to build it, you know, with a partner, you get to build one and you get to plug it into the computer with the USB, program it, download it, put it on the ground, see how it works. Oh, didn't work, put it back up there and whatever. But we can't do that with online learning. Fortunately, we do have a way to at least do the programming part online, which, you know, the building part's fun, but the most important part is how to program it. So what we're going to do is we're going to look back and see what we're going to do. First of all, if this doesn't make sense to you, it will in a second. But each grid square in this programming thing is 200 millimeters. We're going to program a robot that drives forward 1 square, and then next program it to reverse back to the beginning point. So it's just going to go forward and back. And then we're going to do the same thing, but we're going to do it with 2 grid squares and then 4 grid squares. As soon as you're done with all those things, your program's ready to turn in. I'll show you how to do that in a second. For a step-by-step guide, you look right here in the Canvas assignment. Now, the only thing that's missing now is this video. Insert video here. After I get done recording this, I'm going to put the YouTube video in. I'm literally making the video now, so I can't do that. But it'll be there when you see it. All right, so what you're going to do is you're going to go up here and leave your Canvas open so you can look at the instructions, and you're going to press plus. Make a new browser tab. You're going to type in vr.vex.com. First thing you're going to do is change it to your last name and the assignment name. This assignment is called There and Back Again. So I'm going to click up here to VEXCode project where it says that. I'm going to click and I'm going to put in Woodchick because that's my last name. Please use yours. There and Back Again. And so we'll rename that. So now it's called that. Now this video, I want you to watch this right when you get into the assignment.
With VEXCode,
it's better to watch it in here, so I'm not going to play it all right now. You can do that. After you've watched it, you can simply close this, okay? Now, here's what we're going to do. We're going to go and we're going to start programming a robot, and then what we do is we open up the playground. When you want to see your program, and if you got it right, so you have to have both of these open. And we're going to, for this assignment, we're going to stay on the grid map. You know, there's other ones on here, like this one or whatever, you know. There's one with a castle or whatever. We're going to use the grid map. And I invite you guys out after you get done with the assignment, play around with some things on here. You can play around with this as much as you want. Okay? So then we're going to call it good on that, and we are going to move that over to the side. Now, if your laptop is too small, you can always close this. If it's getting in the way and you can't see the programming over here, you can always close this and bring it back anytime you want by just pressing the playground button at the top. All right, so first things first, what we're going to do is we'll go back into the instructions. It says each grid square is 200 millimeters. Program the VEX robot to drive forward 1 full grid square. Okay, great, that's fine. So let's go back here. And so lucky for us, you know what, we're in luck because it just happens to be this is already set for 200 millimeters, which is 1 grid square for us. Let's see what that does in the playground. So we grab it over here and we have to move it. Now if it's here, it doesn't do anything. It's got to snap to the when started and connect to that. So I'm going to go to playground and we are going to press play now that we have something. Hey, awesome. It moved forward exactly 1 grid square. I'll stop that because we know there's nothing else that's going to happen. You can reset it here and it moves the robot back to the start. Okay, so that's cool. I've got that first part done. Let's go back and see what it says here. Next, program the VR robot to drive reverse back to the beginning point. Oh, okay, well, let's see how that works. We're going to put another move block, keep the first one because we do want it to drive forward, but this one, it's already set for 200 millimeters. That's how far we have to go back. This one, all you got to do is change it to reverse. So see, we're going to drive forward basically 1 square or 1 grid square, and then we're going to drive reverse for 200 millimeters or 1 grid square. All right, let's take a look at that. Hey, Hey, cool. First part of the program's done, but you have more to do, okay? Now, you can go down here and we're going to grab a calculator. Just click down here and you can type in cal, and this will pop up calculator. Now, most of you could do this math in your head, but we have to do 2 grid squares now. So we're going to go, each grid square is 200 millimeters. And we're going to multiply that times 2. And that means for this one, we're going to use 400 millimeters for 2 grid squares. Okay. I'm going to set that aside, minimize it. We'll use that later. And then I'm going to go over here. So keep this first part because you have to have all of this together. So the robot's going to go forward 1, back 1, forward 2, back 2, and then forward 4 squares and back 4 squares. Then we'll be done with our assignment. Okay, so now this is the first assignment, so I'm going to do all of it together. All you have to do is copy the things that I'm doing, okay? So it makes it pretty simple. Then I'm going to put out this one, and we're going to do forward, but this time we're going to make it for 400 millimeters, okay? But we have to drive backwards for 400 millimeters also, reverse. Reverse just means go backwards for 400 millimeters. Let's see how that works. And again, if you have this closed, just open it back up if it's in the way, and reset your robot and press play. Forward 1, back 1, forward 2, back 2. And then it's done, so we can stop and reset our program. Awesome, but we aren't done yet. We're almost done. Here's what we're going to do next. It says continue the pattern for 2 grid squares. I think we've done that, haven't we? And then 4 grid squares. So we're going to go 1 forward, 1 back. 2 forward, 2 back, and then 4 forward and 4 back. Now let's grab our calculator again. A lot of you can do this in your head, but if you can't, you go 200 millimeters per each grid square. And we want to do 4 grid squares, so we're going to times 4. And 200 times 4 is 800. All right, cool. A lot of you can do that in your head, so maybe you don't need the calculator. I don't know. Okay, so the next thing, we're going to keep this, so it does that. The program needs to be complete with all of that. And we're going to put this one forward, and we are going to do that for 800 this time. We're going to put this one here for reverse, and we're going to do that for 800 millimeters also. Now, one more thing I want to do, since this is the end of our program, it doesn't matter for this one because it stops, but we want to put something at the end just to clean it up. If you scroll down on this menu, there's a lot of stuff on here. And you'll notice this is very similar to what you see on a lot of programming languages. We're going to go down here and put stop project, just for good measure. All right, now, don't turn this thing in unless you see what it does and it works. If it doesn't work, come back into class, and remember you have like all week to kind of work on it, and you talk to me during my class or my office hours, and I'll help you if you're stuck. Okay, but you have to check your work before you turn it in, okay? Let's see if it works. It should go forward 1, back 1, forward 2, back 2, forward 4 squares, then back 4 squares, and then the timer should stop because we actually put in a stop project thing. 1, back, 2 squares, back. 4 squares are 800 millimeters, and you can see, look, it's working on that. Now it's working on going reverse. You can see as it flashes over here what part it's working at. Look at it again. Going forward 1, back 1, forward 2, back 2, forward 4, back 4. And you can see that by what is flashing. And then it gets to stop the project, and it stops that timer. Okay, and you could also, you could look at it in this camera mode too, where it follows it. Back 1. Okay, so you know what? But I've seen enough of that, right? I'm pretty sure that is absolutely correct. Now, let's go ahead and learn how to share this project with Mr. Woodchick. I want to show you guys how to turn this thing in and save your project in case later I tell you to fix something. You can go back and you don't have to start over from scratch. First of all, I want to file, and I'm going to save to your device. Okay, so that is going to download into the downloads down here, and that's one I don't want you to turn in. That's for you later if you wanted to. Let's say that you lost all this information. Oh no, where'd my program go? If you wanted to, you could load from device. Oh, here it is, Woodchick there and back again. It's a .vrblocks project. Cool, awesome. But that's for you to keep in your downloads in case I tell you to fix something. But you have to share it with me, and the way we're going to do that is up here with the share button. Okay, so I'm going to go share. And that downloaded, you can see that downloaded something that's a PDF file. That's the one that you're actually going to turn into me. So you can see the downloads. Hey, look at there it is. Woodchick there and back again. And you look, it's an Edge PDF document. That's the one you want to turn into me. Okay. So let's go ahead and take a look. Back into the assignment. And then you're going to go down and you're going to use the submit assignment button. I can't see it on here because this hasn't been published yet. Submit assignment. And look, it's not going to let you put in the first one, the VEXCode one. It's only going to accept a PDF file from you rather. So that's how you turn it into me. Hey everybody, I want to thank you for watching.